Skipping.
Those are the other. Those are weird.
Yeah.
I believe I'll bring those. 7 cards again.
Yeah.
In the second round, there are grounds for the.
Yeah, normally the office is
So you just have.
because I have no one else to take a group white, but it's easier.
Sure. Then you draw it and you get it. So you basically run the guy into the cards. So that you can then you start. But I got the cards and in. Really cheap. Like looked like 3 of those went up. There's 2 of them at the beginning. We didn't notice that we ordered full combo and we maybe draw 50 something cards. And he was like, oh yeah, now you have no cards. We're like, no, this card's a little less.
Ever been to the airport museum?
Like, yeah.
How long is it?
It's the coolest museum you can ever go to. They have like planes from every
Yeah,
era.
that game went from
Like pre-World One to present. And he had like also a hangar dedicated to experimental aircraft. All of your planes that goes in Cold War, like a flying saucer.
Where's it at?
It's in Dayton, Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah, I know some Ohio chicks who did. You know that church, St. Mary?
Before the class start, I would like to know, because there's one student email me asking for group mate. So I would want to know any group are okay.
Like going talking about the submission?
Mhm.
Yeah, because we were all in the group and like, I know you said one person needs to like turn it in, but it still
Mhm.
shows that we need to turn something in, Can we go
Okay.
ahead and turn something in or?
You mean to turn in the title
Yeah.
and the background? I think you just need me to turn on the, you can change it later, but at least like submit something. So I can give you some, yeah, just like at least turn something. Okay. So remember turning something, because I want to give you some like basic fundamental points. So all this just helping you. Okay. So I don't want to like wait until last moment and then give you the grade is not that good. So try to like have a progress. Okay.
Right.
And second thing is like, I know maybe you already formed the group and start to working on something, but because just helping to connect the students. So she's looking for a group mate and joining a group, even though I say it's like around like 5, maximum 5, but I'm okay if you are okay to let her to join your group and please let me know. So I will try to send, also I will send the email to other groups, like if you're okay to let her to join your group. So please let me know. Okay. Okay.
Just something telling you what group we're in.
About the group.
For the project grouping, just say what group we're in.
Yeah, what group? Yeah. So if you heard about it, if you're okay, also you can like talk to me individually and let me know if you're okay to let her to join the group. Okay, because she is the one like asking to join the group. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, but I know some of not able to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know some of them are joining online and then they want to join a group. So maybe it's more like difficult to them to. I say yes, but like for this situation, I'm open to it. So there are no absolute max. Okay, yeah. So just like let me know they're joining. But I think if you enroll it, I think it's still okay to more than 5. So I think the system allowed you to enroll more than 5. So it should be okay. Okay. So just let me know, or like if you're okay, then if no who like contacting you, then you can just let them to join it. It's okay. If no, you can talk to me individually. Okay. So let's move on to the web program. But before that, suppose like have you all like designed a topic you want to work on your project? Okay, maybe planning. Okay, good. And I will in because of it will be like kind of like last month of a semester, almost done. So I will lecture sometimes, or like if you have question about the project like programming you want to ask, also I will give you the time to ask, like I can help you. And so right now let's move on to the some syntax things. Okay. So in the previous I talked about more about the numbers string. So we have some functions and actually pretty similar because from the string we can break that into an array. Okay, so you will see yep.
Excuse me, I don't think this is uploaded on
Let me see. hopefully if I know, yes, okay, sorry, I forgot to upload. Okay, let me upload this one. Okay. Hey, okay, it should be visible to you. So here will be part 2. Okay, I missed the J. Okay, it becomes a script. Okay. So because for the JavaScript, for the standard, right now we're always talking called the ES6. So the syntax is totally different. Like if you know something about JavaScript, so like those the constant keywords, they do change. We have the mapping function. And I try to like add those like latest like recent years. We have like stuff from 2021 and till 24. Right now they have some modified change. Okay, so that's why I always say for this language they maybe phase out certain function, integrate certain function together to become a new one. Okay, so even right now in this moment it's working. Maybe next update it fade out or like depreciate. Okay, so always like go to check the document. Okay, or sometimes you try to update the version of the npm or your node, and then the syntax may need to change, or even the package you are using in this version. So that's why sometimes why we need to use the npm install dash save, because we need to save the version you are using. So you are better to like download those version. You are able to reuse those functions. But if you didn't define those version, and once you install it into a new environment, okay, so they will always like pull the new version and install. So maybe your function is not working anymore. Okay, so just need to pay attention of this one. And for the array, we need to know how can we declare array, and then have some array methods, how to search, doing searching, and go through all the items and all those are loops. So they're kind of like working together. Okay, array and then loops. Also, we can use it for our string too. Last time I did cover a little bit, so this time I try to add more about the regular expression you working with the string. So for the ES6, we say like beyond, like something like ES6 plus, we try to improve the performance. So that one called a V8 in engine. Okay, if you interview as a web programming or something Node.js, sometimes the interviewer will ask you, so what's the special of Node.js? So you need to know what's the you need to know the terms called the V8 engine. So they try to optimize the features, just like asynchronization, like async await for concurrency. And they try to provide a clear syntax. So try to reduce the boilerplate code, and also with the arrow function that's return and destructing. So this, and then with some new features. Okay, so right now ES6 2001, 2, 3, 4 up to now. Okay, so it's getting more modern. Okay, so far we need to learn array. It's a really important data structure we are using a lot, and those array we order like collection of values and can be any data type. Okay, and those array in JavaScript are dynamic, so they can grow or like shrink in size. It's slightly different. Maybe if you learn C++, once you declare the size, you need to give a length, right? Maybe if you need to create a dynamic array in C++, then you need to use vector. So do you have any idea about this? Vector array, dynamic array? A little bit? Then okay, so here's the thing. And then we have like come to some common operation. How can we add and remove this? We need to learn. When we start with declaring the array, the basic is that always use the keyword let or const. So if we are not modify the array anymore, sometimes let's say the month, okay, January, February, like this, we never change. We can declare it. Then we can use the const, okay, and then put the square bracket is always showing is the array, and then you can change it's the number or string character. It's all okay, and separated by the comma. So it's called the array of strings. Okay, here's the type. And when we try to declare empty array, so just put a square bracket. So you don't have to tell the the JS, the Node.js, like what's the size? How big is this array? Okay, so we can use it, and also we can use the stuff from ESS6. We can use the array.of, so to create. So you can use the regular bracket and then put the number. So it will also help you to construct the array. Okay, or we can use the array dot from. So after beyond 6 recently, then we can try to create an array for the iterable or array-like object. So right here from if you give originally we have array and then array dot from and then pass this string into it, then it will change to array. Okay, and you may use split or other functions or method we can handle string, but here's a one of method. Okay, if you want to iterate, that means go through one character by character of the string, you can use this method, convert the object type. Okay, and for this one, like for the object of, you can pass all the elements from 1, 2, 3 until n, and those we will convert those list of value into an array. So here and then from, so it's a definition is right here. So convert the iterable like a string or object like they call array like object. So maybe arguments to into array. So here we more details. Right now you know what's array, then we need to know certain methods. So you need to use maybe when you're working on the web programming, right now we add. So when you get some new items, then you need to save it in your local storage and then post it to the server. Then how can we use? So once we declare the array, let's say if we have a square bracket and then have some default value, so we can use a function called push. Okay, so array.push and pass the value into it, so we can add that value to the array. So this one is more dynamic. Okay, so once you push a new item, so it will append to the last position. Okay, and then the size will increase by 1. And that function, how can we remove it? So it's called pop. Okay, so pop is like remove the last element of the array. So if you call the function, we have a pop, and pop will return a value. If you want to store that value, then what should we do? How can we save it? If I pop out, it will remove it. Then how can we save the value? Yes. How can I modify this syntax? Okay, so why not if I use array.pop, then we remove it. But if I want to keep this number, let's say I want to keep the 3, the last element, I need to use it. Then how can I save this value?
Do shall copy.
Shadow window.
Let's answer.
So, okay, if I have a let, okay, right here. So that should. Okay, right. So if I have a function called push 3. So for push, we don't have any return value. Okay, so once after we push it, so right now in this moment, array will equals to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I run array pop, so p 3 will pop out. So if I want to save it, I need to create a variable to save it, right? So let, maybe I say call x equals to pop. Okay, then I can save it. So just like this. Okay.
Oh, so basically you say let x equals array.pop, it'll save it before.
Yes. Yeah, for the pop option, this function, so it will return the value you pop out. Okay. So after you remove it, so if you need to implement a similar function, that means you need to remove from the array, and then you need to return the value. So it's the pop, how does it work? Okay, so remember we always remove the first one. Then how about you say, if I want to remove the first one, then we call shift. Okay, so shift is remove the first one, the first element in your array. Okay, If you want to keep it, then you can also like keep the value you remove, then you can create using let function and save it. So it will have return value. So you can doing the same. And if we have another function called unshift, okay. Unshift is like we can add one or more value, so the element to the beginning of the array. Okay, so remember for shift is like we move the first one, and unshift is adding to the like the stuff from the first element, like first position of your array. Okay. Sometimes it looks a little weird, but shift, that's how it works. And next one is concat. Maybe if you need to joining two array together like concat, so we have function, so you can put the array, first array dot. So they have a function called concat and concat array 2. So it will become a new array. So it will be, you can save like into a new array 3. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you still remember, we have the template literal, the one with the 3 dots. So also concat. So we also can concatenate the two arrays together in this method. And this one will let you a question. You can try to, or like if we have time, you can show me to know if how can you, like instead of using concat function, you have another way, alternative way to concat two array together. Okay, and then the function slice. So we will return the shallow copy of the portion of the array. So if you give the array dot slice, so we have a function, and then if we're passing from 1, and here the tricky things. We didn't include like with something, let's say including excluded. So start from position 0 right here. And 0, 1, so you see we're taking 2, but 3 is the ending index, but it excludes the ending index. So it will be 0 and then 1 and 2, and it doesn't include the 3. Just be careful of this one. Okay, so when we're passing the slice, then we want to include the ending index. So this one, if we put in 3, it only include until -1. Okay, and if we have the splice, this one, so this one will add or remove the item from at the specific index. Right here you will see 1, 2, and then we try to adding AB. So if you look at this, can you tell what it's doing right here?
It's replacing the elements at an array percentage of 1 and 2 with A and B.
1 and B. Okay, so the first 2 parameter. So what's they telling? Guess, just say.
It's telling which position to
It's not
slice, and basically the same part is telling what to replace it with.
Yeah. So first, like it's like the starting index, and then second how many 2, and then replacing the AB. So right here, so it will be AB. Okay. If you want to looking for more example, of course, like all these functions online, lots of example, and you're welcome. You can try to test, so you can create the array and execute it. Okay. But right here, at least you know we have some function like right here, some properties you can use to call for operate. And then the next you will see really so many times is map function. So this one we use a lot for the array. So we try to create a new array with the result, like calling this function for every element. Okay. If I have a nums array and then with 1, 2, 3, so this is a mapping function. So I will pass the parameter. So the element right here, and all the element will times 2. Okay, times 2 and have a return value. So this one will keep the same as the array. So right here, if I say double, and then it's still double is the array of the number, and then they will times 2 by the original numbers right here. Okay, so it's, and one more is called the filter. So the filter is try to create a new array, the same as a new array, and then with all the element that pass the test implemented by the provided function. So this one is we are not modifying the numbers, but we are just filtering. Okay. So if you want to check if that number, let's say this one is an even number, I want to filter all those even numbers, then I can pass the number, and if this number modules by 2, and that means like if it's a the remainder is 0, that means it's an even number. Okay, so we those like if they pass this test condition, then we will generate a new array. Okay. Probably you may use this one, hopefully, maybe yes. And we have another one called a reduce. So reduce function is applying is an accumulator. So we are adding and then go through all the element and then to generate as a one single value. So this one called reduce. Okay. So same if we have the array 1, 2, 3, and when you call the function reduce, we need to pass two parameter, ACC accumulator, and then the num. Okay. So accumulator, we by default we need to pass what's the default value. The default value is 0. Okay. So you see 0 we put into ACC accumulator, and then pass the num. Num is the array value right here. So all the element. So start from 0 and then I'll pass 1 and then pass 2. So 1 plus 2, 3, and then 3 plus 3, 6. So the return number sum is 6. Okay, that's how this reduce function doing. Fine. So we return find the first element in the array that satisfy the provided testing function. So if you try to pass the find, and if for this array, if we match it, so if I find the first one greater than 8, so the second one, so we only return the first match element. Okay. So if you want to looking for all the matching element, how can we do that? Is a question. If you giving you using find this function, how can I search all the matching? Quicker than this one. Because for find, I only can return the first one. If I asking, okay, I want to get all of them greater than 8, because if I also want to return 10 and 15 in this array, where I give you like all this one, the method of functions, that's the two you have away. But how can you achieve to this your goal, or like to get your expected result? You have different way. Okay. Using different function. You did learn about filter, right? About filter? Or writing a loop, or okay, if you also learn the slice, right? We will try to slice the array. If you're not using filter, maybe you can, okay, after you get the first one, you will get the index, right? So after you find it, maybe you need to get the, okay, what's the index, and then you slice it as 1, and then check the remainder using find. Of course, the question, if I really force you to, okay, you are only allowed to use find, then maybe you need to get a slice. But if I didn't force you to using only use find, then you can use other. I say you can use the filter to find the all the match value, and also you can use the find index. So if you find a match one, then what's the index of it? So it also only return the first element match. Okay. So the concept is pretty similar to the string. Okay. Just like if you want to find all the match character or a word in the string, then how can you find the location? And then if I limit it to one function, but of course, in this case, I'm not really asking, okay, you have to like use this one, but you need to have a basic idea. Okay. If I asking how can you get, or like this function, what's the return value? Most of the question you may see is that, okay, if I use if I have an array, I call this function. So what are the expected result? Okay. Then you need to know what are those functions will be used. And then one is the include. So this one will check the array contain a specific element. Okay. So do they will return the true or false is a Boolean. So if this array does contain number 2, then it will return true. If no, then it returns false. Okay. So this one, searching, and the index of it. Also the index of this element, if you are able to, it exists, it will return the location, the index of it. And if it doesn't exist, it returns -1. Okay. So just like be careful, like includes, if you want to know like true or false. Okay. If you want to find exactly where it located, then maybe you need to use index of. Okay. But if you want to check does it exist, also you can use index of and then change the condition. If it's greater than -1, that means it is true. So it does exist. Okay, we can do it, this one. And here's a tricky thing. Okay. We know the function, how to like calling then. And then another really important for our way is we need to do sorting. Okay, sorting is really important function we're using. So we try to like sorting in a place. So by default, they will sorting by the string. That means by the letter. Okay, A to Z. Okay. From if by default also is ascending order if you sort it. Okay. And if you have the number, when you sort it, it will look like this. But if it's a string, okay. But sometimes like you're showing if I really need to sort the number, we need to pass it as a function. Okay. So we need to have a comparator function. So we'll pass it. So you just like giving a AB. Okay. So AB is a parameter. So A minus B is if you look into details, because like A minus B, so we will determine so the value. So it is if it's a bigger than, they will swap it. If no, then we just stay the same order. So later it turns out will be in ascending order. Okay. So just remember the result or like the syntax. If I ask you how can you sort the numbers, you can use the function and then remember to pass it the parameter AB, and then A minus B is in ascending order. Then how can you do descending? Then you can take. Okay. If you just like call a short function, and then for the string by default will be followed by like A, B, C. Okay. So it's a pretty straightforward. So here's a tricky thing of the array sorting. If here's a question that you can search it. Because like by default for the short, if you're learning data structure, we have different type of sorting methods, right? Algorithm in behind for sorting. So just like a question, do you know what's the sorting? Maybe you learn React, maybe you use sort. So do you know what's the algorithm they are using for the JS sorting? Do you know what are the sorting algorithms?
No, one was called bubble sort.
Okay, we have bubble sort, and then
Bubble, I guess would be
merge sort. No.
Oh, yeah, it's a search.
Merge sort, we do have a merge sort, and then one more, divide and conquer, and we have heap sort, and so we have quick sort. So they're using quick sort. Okay, and what's the efficiency? Don't know. Guess. When you learn data structure, or if you learn what's the big O notation. Okay, so it's not included, but it's like better if you're doing some interview sometime, you need to know. It's really common if you have a chance doing the tech interview, you should able to tell like for this algorithm or you're writing, what is the efficiency? Okay, so if for a loop, single loop, for one D array, so what's the efficiency?
For what?
time capacity. Do you remember a big O notation? Okay. So if for a 1D array, we say a 1D, 2D because a 1D is just a regular array. So what's the efficiency, the time capacity?
What?
For 1D array? Just ignore the quick shot. Yeah, just like for the array, for loop.
Oh,
Yes, ON. Yeah, big ON. Okay, so yeah, big ON. Okay, so you need to able to tell like if you're using a for loop, it will be big ON. Okay, so as a follow-up question, what is the time capacity of the quick shot, or most of the shot like divide conquer much? So what's the best time? Yes, and no, okay. So if you don't remember, or like for interview, okay, just a trick. So it's like we try to achieve like most of the array, like if you're writing a 2D array or like two nested for loop, we'll be using n, right? No matter the number is the fixed number like 1 to 10, we still represent it as an n. And if you have two for loops, will be n squared. Okay, so if big O(n) square, but the problem is like it's too slow. Okay, so we always try to achieve is n log n. Okay, and then those like kick shot, divide, convert. So the target, the best condition situation is n log n. Okay, so for the quick shot, they are using in behind they're using quick shot for them. Okay, you just need to know because you don't have to implement. Okay, but of course you can implement a quick shot like using Node.js. But just like I'm not asking you this one, just out of the topic. Okay, but you need to know if you're really interested or like want to know more about this language. Okay, and then we have something more. So we have the like we need to execute a power function like once the each array element. So we can use it called the for each. So the nums for each, and then we can do the console log. Okay, so we'll go through one by one. Okay, and it depends on you. So it's pretty similar to the array for loop, like iteration method. So the one, if you remember the for of. So we will go over all the values in these objects. So the syntax like for, and then you can use a const. If you need to modify the value, then I will recommend you to using let, because you can modify. If you like let it static, you're not changing it, you can use the const and the number of the array. Okay, so you can give it any name. So this one is called num or value or x. Sometimes you say a, b, any name, but remember always give meaningful, like with some meanings of them for the variables. Okay, and then we can log it, or like you can do something. Okay, depends on your code. And we have one more is called the in. So we have for of loop and for in loop. So it will iterate like over the keys index of the object of array. So right here. So what's the difference? If you look at the even though it's pretty straightforward, but try not to confuse. So what's for of and what's the for in? You know the question? Asking. Okay, so I'm asking. Okay, you think. Okay, so you will see we have the for of and for in these two loop. So what's the differences between these two? If you look at the definition, it's pretty straightforward, but depends how you can understand it. For of and for in.
The for n is gonna go with the indexes.
Okay.
It'll go through the array based off of the index. For looks like it's just gonna give you the actual value.
Yes. Okay. So basically for those them both of them, for the for of or for in loops, so we are still start from index 0 to end of the elements. Okay, so we won't skip any of them. Okay, But only difference is the return value or when you put in the variable right here. So this one is always the value itself, okay? For off is getting the value, okay? But I know sometimes if you want to iterate with the index, then you better using for in loop, okay? In loop is like we only go through the index one by one. So you only get the index, so the return value right here is called I. Sometimes if you're writing the like letting I equals to 0, 0 less than n, and then I purpose, pretty similar idea. But for if we are using the for in loop like for each, we cannot skip the elements in the array, but depends on the content you want to handle with. So if you want to handle the content is like with the value, the number itself, then use of and in will be the index. Okay, try not to mix up. And if you need to writing a loop, you can use the pretty traditional way as you learn other language. We have the for loop, and then with a bracket, and then let replace your like if you're using C++, C++ or Java, we need to give the data type, but right here you don't have to, because we need to iterate with the I. So just be careful. Try not to put a constant. Okay, so we use let to create I equals 0 and then I less than 5 and I purpose. Okay, so this one is more like traditional. You may use it a lot. So it depends. If you need to change the value, then maybe you are not recommend to using the for in loop for off to change the value, because it only iterate and go through the items only, showing you the result. Okay. And also we have the while loop, so the structure is the same. So you need to get the I and then give the condition. Like if it's true, then we'll do something like logging the I and then I purpose adding 1. Okay. And for the loop, if you find something, if you want to break, okay, we will have a break the loop at the, like if you match, I will jump out of the loop, stop the loop, then you can use the keyword break. Then we have continuous. If I don't say, then what is continuous? If you look at the definition, what's the continuous doing? It's the same for other language, and nothing special. If you know C++, they do have continuous for the loop, and then Java they do have continuous. They also Python they do have a continuous. So what is continuous doing?
It's basically just looking back to the top of the loop.
Back to the loop top. Pretty close. Okay, yes, but almost, but also
Executing the rest of what's beneath it. So it's like a break, but instead of leaving the loop, you just
okay. Go to the next. Okay, next one. Yeah. So you will maybe this one like we will stop like if we have the I equals to 3, then if we have continuous, then I always give 3. I join to I equals to 4 plus 1. So I won't log the 3, right? So it's the continuous. Okay. I know because some people they confuse, like they don't know what continuous doing. And pretty similar if condition. So we have if else, the same, and then if bracket, and then like greater than less, and then if true, then we'll fall into this section. If return false, we'll go to else. Then how can, if we have multiple condition, if else, if, just like adding here, so you can, it's the same. So else if, and then another else if. Okay, so the last one will be else over that. So it's pretty straightforward. Just letting you know. So if else, and then if you want to, if else like this. Okay, you can have nested if else, like keep going if else. And switch. And if you declare something and then you pass the variable in, and then you can give the case. So this one it will be a string, it can be a number, and after we log. Some of the mistake is that if you forgot to put a break, Okay, so most of the time we put a break for all the case. So if I don't put the break, what happens? You know?
If you don't have a break statement.
Yeah, so why do you need to put a break or like don't? Yes, okay. So it's pretty common, like you say, why it even it looks like it match, right? So but why you keep printing out all the contents or like other stuff in your statement? Because you forgot to put a break. But sometimes we do. Then you know what situation we are not putting the break.
Oh, default.
We do have a default. It's like if none of them they match, then we will show the default. But sometimes, like for the case situation, we are not putting a break. Let's say I want to find the character. Okay, so if I have a switch condition and I will say it's a C for character and I pass it. Okay. For the case, let's say regarding the uppercase or lowercase, if I want to match is that character is A, then I will do something that I can do in this. I do the console lot. Okay. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay. So if you want to execute something, okay. So for these two cases, will be the same. Then you can just skip the break. Okay. So we'll execute. Okay. And then we have some compressor. So if you remember the syntax right here, you will see in the if condition like compare, we have 3 equal sign, and sometimes I will use the 2 equal sign. Okay, okay. So guess before I talk about it, like sometimes like why here is I'm using 3 equal sign. The thing is any special features? Have you ever seen this one in other language? Not the context, the equal sign right here.
I've never seen a triple equal. I've seen you use double equal.
Double equals. Just be careful because when you're using for the SQL, the query, we're using 1 equal sign to like showing equals, right? To match it. Because for SQL, we don't have an assignment. We don't assign something to a variable. So we can use 1 single. But for most of our programming language, 1 equal sign is to assign the variables. So that's why we use 2 equal sign to representing equal metric compare. Then what's 3 equal signs right here? That means something more than 2, right? Based on 2, we are matching the value. Then 3 equal signs, we try to matching something else. Let's guess. Wow, guess. Okay. Okay, so much. So actually for 3 equal signs, we also match the data type. Yes. So for here, we'll make sure they are because sometimes even look at it, maybe when you do the console log, it looks like the same, right? But sometimes they're objects, sometimes numbers. So maybe if you print the integer and string 3, when you look at it, they're all the same. Okay, but actually for data type, they are not the same. So we try to use the 3 equal sign. So they have a name. So you need to remember this one, like called the loose equality and the strict. Okay, so we only compare the value but ignore the data type. But for equality, this one strict one will compare the values and types together. Okay. If you put 2 equal sign, they can be true. But with the 3 equal sign, they will be false. Okay. This one really be careful. Okay. So depends on sometimes if you say why it's so true, but it's a string or like it's number, But sometimes if you put three equal sign, unless you want to get that number or the string, it's like I don't accept any number, but I want to also check the data type, then you can use three equal signs. Okay. Equality. And this part will be the regular expression kind of extension. If like on Tuesday, I do talk about the regular expression. So the pattern we come with the 2/ and then the pattern. Okay. Or you can use the function regular expression and then pass the pattern from here. I put it like in this structure because I would declare the pattern first. Showing the patterns, they define the regular expression, but I can change it. And then for this regular expression, I will test it. Okay. And for the some digits, so we have called \d and then plus. For the plus sign is at least minimum 1. Okay. So I has like at least 1 digit of it. Okay. And if I using extra the star, that means like it can be 0. That means nothing. Okay. And I put it like to use this is what I cover in the Tuesday lecture. So I'm using the regular X right here. You can build, and if I have certain syntax, I just copy anything. Okay. Okay. So if like this, if I want to find a equal sign, will be equal sign like this. Okay. Image. And if I want to find something like start with, let's say const. Okay, right here, const. Okay. So if I start with this one, so this one like that means like begin with the C, like con the con. Okay. And we have the like personality. For all the special character, we need to use the backslash. Okay. So for the D, and then we have the something for special character. They for the W would be the W would be the letters right here, and then non special character will be like this capitalized W will be like this. So you will see the difference. So the first will be the digit and then special. So if I follow by just a non-special character like this, and if I using the plus sign, so will be grab 3 of them. Okay, but if I change it to special character, so I'll grab all of them, and then including the double quotation mark. Okay, do it like this. We have more to test. Like actually for the regular expression, there are lots of things you can use, and maybe you maybe use it if let's say I want to grab the email address. .google.com. Okay. Okay, if you want to, some website. Okay, here's one of the feature. If you input the website and password, like when you sign up the account, they will take your the email account name as your username. Then how can you grab that one? Actually, they're using regular expression. So let's say I am my name's I call it like Peter. Okay. Okay. Then how can I get the Peter from this email? Assign. You can try to you can use the online. So if you are showing, okay, I want to see how can you grab this one. Just the practice exercise. I have more than that, but just like for the online testing, so you can try to. If here's a slightly small exercise, if you go there, get the online regular expression, and then pass this one. How can you grab the username from the email?
So we're trying to get just. Peter.
Yes, just
Correct.
Peter. Yeah.
So then could you find the index that the app is at? And then.
No,
plug
but-
in the values before that index?
Yes, you can use this one using for loop, but this time I'm showing how can you use the regular expression instead like interval of it. So these are online testing. So you need to give the patterns. Okay. Okay. One of his is the dot will be like just anything, and then I want to match it with the SI. So you see the right here, right? But only it shows it only highlight R and F. How can I grab more? Do you remember sign? Okay. So you see dot, it can be anything. Okay. We grab everything and then plus will be representing, okay, I will at least one, but it should be at least one, right? It's impossible that the email account without any username in the front. So at least like I was using plus, okay. And this one, it only match the pattern. Okay. So it only return like true or false, like it match it. But if I want to grab it, so remember to add a bracket right here. If you add the bracket right here, and then you will see the group one. So it will return an array. Okay, so once you match it and return it, so you will get the group one will be Peter. So it will be like this. We have some called the lazy matching. So if you put the question mark, if you have like I want to change it to add, okay. So if I put to SI right here, so it match all, right? If I want to get the first one, then you can right here, okay. I have add a question mark right here, so it's called the lazy or the shortcuts. So we will return two groups, okay. So we will try to break down two. So it won't, if you didn't put the question mark, you will see it return the longest one, okay. It will grab the last one, will match it, okay. But if you want to match it with some special digits, character, so like this, then we have two groups. So if you don't want to put the question mark, so the \w is like represent to characters, like special character. For uppercase would be any non-special some like special character. So right here you can see some example, or you can define the numbers by the range. So right here you can use A to Z like this. It still works. Okay. Okay. So using this form is okay. So put it a lot. And also we have some other methods you can use. So instead of like using the one is using test, the first one like we try to match it, and then for the execute, the X will be return an array of match. Okay, if you want to return a group, like use the Gmail name as a username or for certain information, yes, then you can maybe execute. So maybe you need to use this function. If you want to replace the content, you can call the function replace. Okay, substitute. Okay, so this one we will replace part of it. So right here, for the regular expression, like the email, so for the lowercase, uppercase, and then digits, underscore, you can take an underscore, maybe some percentage, like anything, add. So here we match the patterns. If you we use the modules called the JOI. So then we do the validation, right? If you're using the Happy.js to implement, so they do have a regular expression to help you to validate the Gmail format, or for the phone number. If you want to validate your the phone number, also you can do that. Okay, so you can just. I'll give you some like easy exercise. I think it's a pretty useful because as a developer, you need to know. So maybe I will prepare some exercise you can get familiar. And next will be the scope. So with the scope and the hosting, so scope is the determine the where the variables and the function can be accessed in the program. So we have the global function and also the block. So global just like outside and any function. Okay, so everywhere can access it globally, we say. And then for the function, and we only declare inside the function. So we only can access inside it. And also we have called a block scope. So after ES6, okay, so here's a this it's not really new, but introduced. We are coming using. So we'll declare the within with the let and constant because we have introduced the let and constant inside the block. So limited to it. Okay. And the hosting, so it's just like telling the behavior of the variables and the function declare when we move like to the top and bottom. So what's this one is like you cannot, or when you look at this, can tell. But I think it's like it's a kind of like basic fundamental concept for programming. What these two statements doing? It tries to do the console log and then declare the value. So you're not allowed to do that. So we'll get the undefined. Okay, you will receive the error because the system will did. Okay, if you didn't declare this value, but you try to log, okay, just be careful of this one. And also if you try to import the function, this one because is maybe for function for the variables, you won't make the mistake like this, but for the function, you need to be careful. Okay, so if you're going to call this function, you need to put like on the top, or you need to export it. Okay, so if you try to like export as the modules, if you remember, we like talking about the modules. So if you export them as a modules, it doesn't matter. Okay, but you need to import it. But if you're not doing as the modules, then you need to remember, okay, so you need to make sure when you contain some variables, move them to the top, and then before you call it, okay, so this one. This part will be like talking the arrays or something, and I will let you cover this part and will be the for this class. So we tried this one is like before we not initialize it, we have called a reference error occur. Okay, because we don't have it before we access it. So for the correct one, so if calling left function and calling it and then with the function for the function declaration, so they're okay with the entirety. So we'll be okay, but for variables, then you cannot do it like before the initialization. Okay, just need to be careful of this one. So we have called the VR is a function scope. So it's like putting inside. But one now is now we're using let, it's called a block scope. Okay. Also it's a block. Okay. So you just need to remember. They can host it, but not initialize. Okay. So both them should be pretty special. So that's like it comes out after ES6 or beyond we're using. So you need to remember this part. Okay. And this one will be the variables. And then we have called the strict mode. So strict mode is like enforce the strict data set of the rules of JavaScript, helping to catch the error earlier. So we'll see. So you can enable the strict mode. So I think use strict. Okay. So you will sometimes if you look at some script or like some example, it comes out on the top. Okay. So the benefits of it, we can prevent some user declare variables and try to eliminate some silent error. Okay. So also try to disallow the duplicate property names or parameter. So if we try to use a use strict, then we will detect it. So when you put the like x equals to 5, so x is not yet defined. Okay. So it will come out earlier. So if you see something like if you get some online example like example program using use strict, is helpful to this. And we have the this, but I will go quickly, but maybe some level exercise you can try to use it. So the next is the this keyword. So for if you're learning object oriented or function, we'll use this a lot. So this is referred to the context in the function. When they call, so they refer to the object that currently involved in the function. So in the global, so we will calling like this will be the browser, the window itself. So that's what maybe you will need to use. Like this will be referred to the window. Okay, so that's what you may need to use for your VN. If inside the function, it will be a regular function. So just the inside. So calling this is the refer to the function. Okay, and then for the greeting, this one. So this will refer to the windows, and then we have inside the object method, and we pointing this will be the object itself. But I quickly go through this one, but later you have some I will go more details, go through more details. And this one, and then we have the like in the arrow function. So arrow function does have their own this, but it will inherit this from the surrounding scope. So we were looking for upper one. So for this arrow, it doesn't pointing to this arrow function, but it pointing to object. This one, okay. Just then be careful. Also the class. So for the class method, we also have this. So it referring to the this. Okay. So if I pointing this, then we be like. And because I covered like talk about the class, then you also need to know what's the classes. That's what they introduce. So that's why we say the JavaScript is not same as the JavaScript long time ago, the Node.js, because we have the idea like for the using the classes, you can declare the class with the constructor passing different type of parameters, and then give the functions. So like this, and then you can pass it and create a new object. Okay. And also you can inherit some inheritance. So for the classes we have in the JS like ES6, so you can like inherit from other classes using the word extends. Okay. Extends that we can create and then from other class, and then you can add other. So if you're using extends, we have one function called super. Okay. So super is the function we using to like we use those the parent class parameter or some function. Okay, so we will use their constructor of it, and then you don't have to call it one more time, and then for the function will be the same. Okay, so you can reshape that data, and then last we'll be covering the JSON. So you see a lot of JSON. We try to send the post the data to the Happy.js server, or let we return the data from the Happy server to your client. So you will handle a lot. So it's called a JavaScript object oriented. If sometimes we have called a BJSON, so it's binary JSON. So they are lightweight data interchange format. So it's easy to work. So sometimes we will see we try to face it. We try to using the JSON.face. When we declare the string, you need to face it and then pass it, send it to a server. Maybe when you're working on it, after you get the form, if you couldn't send it as a JSON, then you need to face it. Okay. And also we have the string filing the object. So if we receive the JSON file and then we stringify it as a JSON, we're showing like this with the quotation. And also like here's the example. If you want to fetch it and then you post it as a JSON file, respond to JSON and save it, you can log it. And I will save it this like for the exercise for next time for the lab. So just help you to practice. So hopefully you may use this one for your project. Yeah, so I want to let you have some also practice some like programming skills too. So I will keep this practice exercise, and then like those like how can use the scope, all this. And so far will be end of this class. Worry and about just like knowledge question.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Or it's for the other class operating system.
Okay.
Like when I took the quiz, it gave me 50. Is that because it didn't grade everything?
Don't worry, I will modify.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think too is like, I'm gonna turn the next class and operating system virtually. That's cool.
Okay, you can do it. Okay.
Thanks. I got something.
Oh, this one is the
This was for the last round today, operating systems.
okay. It's a 2, right? 50.
Mhm.
But it shows you you say 50.
Yeah, I'll show you. it was like multiple choice and then the last part was 15 points, which was like. Where you had to
Oh,
do-
yeah, because
Yeah.
that one I need to grade by myself because I
Okay.
need to look at it.
Yeah, I like, man, I talked a lot for that question.
Yeah, because for that one, it's not auto graded. So that's why you only suppose, only you can get 30% of it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah. So, okay.
I can make time. No.
Okay, so, oh, it ended. Okay, good.
Well, actually, you need to sign like, us, like, I might be working on somebody else. So I need to just take a picture, just sign, just take a page, and I'll just sign it.
Send this one.
Okay, and
Yeah, I've got started on some of the, so,
Right here.
so I kind of have an idea of how it should work.
And like,
Right.
any of you are able to add a new footprint?
We can start talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have more than five, I don't know, but I will check you back then. What's the group number you register? Nine, okay. So I see, we are not forcing you, but like, I think from Australia.
We're talking about it, and
I
I
think
think we're okay. with it.
Yeah, okay, okay.
When
I
I
can confirm.
okay, yeah.
I think the system is not, exactly like not allowed, so you should be able to register more than five, or than six, maybe, okay, no, let me know. Okay.
For an in-class assignment on Tuesday, I forgot, what do we need to do? For web, I mean, system analysis.
Okay, for the in-class, I gave you the, kind of like, a project background, just a really brief, with, project is the web, online like application. So you need to choose the approach we like talk about. Okay, so,
There's no instructions up for it.
because right here, go to the PowerPoint slides, I should upload it. On week 12, and if you go down, okay, yeah, because mainly, actually, that was the exercise I want to let you like. So right here, you need to choose which approach is effective, so here's the background if you. So here's the scenario, so if you need to like developing a really simple web-based task management application, okay. So it will allow the user to bring like using. So which approach will you use if you start to work on this project? Okay. Okay, waterfalls, then you think what's the benefits or what is the features of this different type of approach? Okay. So you need to tell me, okay. And then after you pick it up, you need to tell me following three things. If you look at the lecture, like the lecture notes, the PowerPoint. So we'll tell you the different phases, right? Okay, phase one. Most of the time, what's the phase one we will do?
This one is, get requirements.
Yes, requirement, yeah, so you need to, tell me, okay, requirements, and then we have called it the key deliverables. So what are the key deliverables we need to have? That means like, okay, after the phase one, I'm getting the requirement, what kind of things as the output?
Again, so what's phase one again requires, what are the outputs, deliverables, specifications?
Yeah, can be, okay, maybe a documents of specification and then, or some, okay, so you'll pass to like phase two, right? Okay, let's say I assume it's the waterfall, okay, what's the phase two we're going to do?
I was sick that day, we've been over that, so. Phase two, I'll go for the.
Okay, yeah, you can refer. So this one is just like the task exercise helped you to like getting more familiar with different type of approach. At least you familiar with one of the approach, okay? Because in your project, you don't have to like say That I don't know, like in next semester, if taking the working, I still not, in this moment, but, no, it should be the previous ones, 11 2. Approach of the development, or you can refer to my, first one, so I summarize. So one will be more like, easier, like you can follow this one, like, this is, because for the PowerPoint slides is more details. Okay.
Yoga, I have a question.
Mhm.
So this is about operating systems. What is assignment 3? It's not there. Oh, never mind that. I was just done.
Okay, the documents.
Yeah. Question solved.
So it will be pretty similar. So if you did the in-class exercise, everything follows step one.
Yeah, I mean, we turned that in.
Yeah, so actually pretty straightforward, nothing tricky. And after I finished, and that's probably also in your quiz, you will see those questions, and also something similar in your exam. So the format pretty similar. So the assignments help you to understand like different type of the algorithm.
Everybody at around.